You know when it's silent and you just realize, did I just fart or did my date just fart? And then you have to smell it to realize, yeah, that ain't my fart. There's onion in that one. I can taste it. That's awkward.
The
That'd
real
be
the real trick is to the real trick is to get them to cop to farting. You convince your date that to take the blame.
Honey, I'll give you $2. Just take the blame.
No, I
Stupid,
We'll
and
didn't
then
talk
fart.
so
about it
like
later.
journalists. So you hate journalists. That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. Right. So you're a journalist.
Just take my self-respect and take the blame.
There's no self respect.
Hey!
You know,
What are you looking
Not
at?
if it leaks out.
You ever heard of privacy?
I'm waiting for a Bill Cosby dating book. Bad idea.
And now dating tips.
When
from
you go on a date,
This stream
You
may
did-
or may not be sponsored by Dating from Prison. Don't drop the soap edition.
I really want to know why they removed Dr. Cosby's plaque from the building where they have the Museum of Television History where they filmed his show. I wonder about that.
there's
Hey. Time to go dating on the way.
At least we'll always have Fat Albert.
That's right.
yes.
Hey, Eric, buddy. Nice to see you, guy.
Maybe this is the point where I should put Do Not Disturb on my phone. But I can't put Do Not Disturb on my neighbors.
I'm not your
sorry.
guy, buddy.
They may manifest at any time.
That's right, guys. Not so cool.
Oh, Wi-Fi's invite me on.
Please ensure when watching Man-O-Rama that you have sufficient snackage for the show, because the show may or may not be entertaining, but we seek to entertain, so you better have a snack.
Hail Sci-Fi Nation, my friend.
It's always entertaining.
Just got a tweet
Yeah.
from them. Nah, he's
It's always
just-
entertaining because we seek to entertain, unlike other people and places.
Chapter 2. If you go on a date, make sure you wear nice. You wear a nice. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Sweater.
If you wear a colorful sweater, bring some pussy.
Don't forget the Jill pudding pops.
Hey, everybody.
What did Eddie Murphy say? Tell Bill to have a Coke and smile. Shut the fuck up. You'll never see that movie. I wonder why that movie's never in theaters anymore. Could it be the part about driving from the San Francisco airport?
Quite possibly. Everybody's slipping on the crap.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight on Man-O-Rama. It is now officially our 15th episode, and we are on our strong way into 2023. I, of course, am the leader of the Roaming Trash Compactors. That way you never have to buy a lawnmower, the Goat Father. And, of course, he's the host with the biggest hat around. Cross him, and he'll have one of many hammers. But chances are, if you mess with him enough, he's just gonna get in his DeLorean time machine and wipe you out from existence. It's Rancor Steve.
Howdy, howdy, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I hope everybody else is. Pinky's out, bitches.
Tonight we have a new special guest to Man-O-Rama. We're gonna grow to know him one way or another. Chances are there's a little bit of piracy and a little bit of Star Trek. We've got Admiral Teague. It looks like Admiral Teague is a little shy
Hello,
at the
everybody.
moment.
It's nice to be here among so many other great creators. Hail to all, hail to chat, and hi, everybody. It's your buddy, Admiral Teague.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Admiral Teague. And of course,
Honored.
before I introduce our next, I will go ahead and move on to the continuous battle of good and evil. It seems every week this man is keeping the Earth safe. Chances are the next thing that's going to invade is aliens that mistake one of our transmissions for a hostile challenge. It's not like the movie Pixels at all, totally not at all. However, this man loves his giant robots and will most likely destroy the DMV if he ever comes into America. It's the Comic Relief Crusader.
Hail, chat, and you have all chosen wisely to join us in Man-O-Rama.
Oh, he is indeed chosen wisely.
Yes.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Jeff will be here. He stepped out for a little bit. I am glad to have this 15th episode, which I'm surprised. I've thought about this. 15 episodes, it feels like a long time, and I'm surprised we are still around with the shenanigans we've pulled off. I'm not going to point any fingers at anyone, but it happens. But I am glad to be here. I'm glad everyone in the chat. I see a couple new faces in the chats. It's good to have you, Admiral Teague, here. It's good. This is the one day I enjoy. This is a fantastic show that I like seeing. To the sucker who didn't come up with this idea for this show, got your back, because this is a fun show. Tonight is just a fun laughter. Kick it off with some sports, March Madness. I don't know if anyone in the East Coast, West Coast likes March Madness. Growing up in the Midwest, I like
those
it. Hey,
last.
how you doing? Look at that.
From the Sweet 16 on, I like it.
Oh yeah. But we're gonna go around the table and see how everyone's week's been. Admiral T, how has your week been as the new person?
It's been a pretty good week. A week of change and opportunity, a week of chaos, and at the same time, I was able to have some fun. All in all, a very good week, and ending on a higher note than it began on. After we do this, I'm going to go downstairs, sing karaoke in the style of William Shatner, and have a few more beers because I'm not booked tomorrow, and it's ladies' night at the bar.
Very good.
Right, Alice, we should go. We're ladies. Hi, we come here much often.
Yeah, just beam
That's
over.
right. Oh my god.
This is Allie, and this is Stephanie. How are you doing? Jeff, welcome.
Hello.
I'm glad to see you here. How was your week?
I'm doing okay. And as Franny, shouldn't I get in ladies' night free?
Yes, you should. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. You can go as a librarian.
There
Oh my
we
gosh.
go. This week has been fun. It's always great when your day job, you take a week off and you come back to a metric crap ton of issues. So yeah, fun.
Metric,
Nice,
not
nice.
imperial measurements.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Atlas, how's your week been?
My week has been fantabulous. Short bus. Awesome week. I managed to get through it without dying. So
There you go. There you go.
yeah, 1 year older, filling out orders like crazy, getting some much needed animations done. Life is good, my friend. Life is good.
Nice. My
Yeah.
week has been crazy. past yesterday and last night, I was able to get some sleep, but leading up Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, I was like combined of like maybe 10 hours of sleep. I was exhausted. I was drained. I was like, this sucks. But I knew it was leading up to this week, this show. Oh, yeah. The most manliest thing you'll ever see. Look at us. We're all dapper and fantastic. Ooh. But
That's right.
yeah, what was it? I ended up making at a couple of the Masonic lodges I did with Gary. We cooked Italian night on Monday. And let me tell you, I never want to cook Italian food for at least a few months. Like we did 3 different pastas and we had to redo it all over again for Tuesday night. And I was like, I don't want to ever see another pasta in front of my face ever again. I was so done. But the lodge there, I was like, you guys cook so good. I was like, fine, we'll cook. It's a whole day. It's like cooking for like 30, 40 people. Have you guys ever, when you cook like Thanksgiving or like a big meal for big people, like when you're cooking, do you not eat that much during the time that you guys all eat?
Ooh. That's a good question. Usually my wife cooks, and the only cooking I've managed to get done on occasion, like say on a big day, like, I don't know, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, is doing the mashed potatoes.
Well, how do you do
every other time potatoes? I'll ask if there's anything else. Oh, I do them so buttery and creamy, just with enough salt in it. Oh, it's like no lumps whatsoever. Learned that from my dad. Just nice, smooth, creamy.
I put a shit ton of butter and garlic in
potatoes.
But yeah, every time I cook for a big group of people, I hardly ever eat because I'm eating while I'm cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Yeah. About you, Teague?
But please restate the question. I was hailing people in chat.
So the question is, whenever you cook for a group of big people,
if you're cooking, do you ever?
Right. When I cook,
do you ever like eat a lot of food once you like if you did Thanksgiving or like a big meal for someone and for a group of like maybe 10 or more people or something like that, do you feel like you want to eat the food you just cooked? Or do you just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat it all?
I would be up for hours making raviolis. The only thing I really know how to eat, and that would be to cook rather. And I think that would be a very festive Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'd be willing to eat it. I mean, and what I have most days. So yeah, I would be willing to eat it. I think I would be psyched to eat the food. And maybe I would even try to do some decorative things with the ravioli, perhaps.
Nice.
Best I could come up with, I can cook 2 things, raviolis and egg sandwiches. Trying to figure out how I could work the egg sandwich into the Thanksgiving dinner.
Have you guys ever burnt water before?
All I know is I can make coffee and ice. I order everything else from the pizza place.
I cheat. I always bring the alcohol. But I make sure I have to taste every sip of alcohol that comes into the room, so I make sure it's good for everyone there.
So by the time
you don't know what the meal's like.
Let me tell you.
So you're a safety conscious guy.
Exactly.
You're the wine taster.
At least you're nice about it.
Yeah.
At least you're nice about it.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
You care about everybody's well-being.
Yeah, it's just quality. You just
What if you walk into the build? What if you walked in the house or the building or whatever? And you're providing the drinks, and all the bottles are all empty, and you're like, I tested it out for you guys.
Hasn't happened yet. I have
goals. So 3/4 of the bottle is empty, but
there's
goals and dreams.
Honestly, the best Thanksgiving. The best Thanksgiving dinner I ever had was I lost track of time and took acid at 4 in the morning and had to go to Thanksgiving dinner, and I was still kind of tripping, and the food was like jumping around. It was great. Trying to spear that piece of turkey as it's moving around the plate. And everyone's looking at me like, what's going on with Teague?
More, please.
Yes, more please, more please.
The peas were like doing a ritualistic dance. I remember this very clearly.
You look to your side, you see Joe Rogan sitting next to you.
I'm just
Let me
trying
tell
not
you
to.
guys. Let me tell you. Have you tried this? Oh my gosh, bro!
Trying not to let my 89-year-old grandmother figure out that I'm on LSD at Thanksgiving dinner. There was no getting out of it. It was like I was out at a club in New York City.
I decided to
You're looking at mashed potatoes like it's ski time.
I mean, you tell me, you ask me what it's like for me to cook. I have no clue. It would be like me on the phone ordering Chinese food. But you ask me what it's like to be a guest and there'd be no alcohol. I understand that feeling and the tripping part.
Yeah.
I don't recommend taking mushrooms or any other form of LSD before Thanksgiving dinner. Thankfully for me, it was chemical LSD, so it went for like a good 18 hours. It was something else.
Now, here at Man-O-Rama, we don't condone drugs, maybe alcohol. But you know, if you tripped balls on some LSD, be safe.
And had the decency to film it.
Yes.
There were no video cameras at that time, thank God.
Damn it.
Maybe I'll do it again. I'll try it again. The last time I took
making a mashed potato volcano.
The last time I took mushrooms, I was on my floor laughing, and I told my like Amazon assistant, as we should call it, so we don't set him off, to play Star Trek, and it put on Beyond, and I couldn't turn it off, and it was like I finally enjoyed the movie. I was like rolling on the floor, watching the space colors. It's in that context, it's a good movie. I recommend it. Put on some Black Sabbath. Don't listen to those fucking songs, to that dialogue, and just. There's a couple of space fights. It's cool. Bad guy dies at the end.
Yeah. What else did I do this week?
Nothing but memories.
It was mainly just cooking. That's all I did this week. Cooking. I remember one year I did 6 turkeys. I don't recommend it. 1 is enough.
Really? 6?
How do you
Yeah,
cycle
you try
them in
cooking at a
the oven?
Nuts, man.
Did you have access to some kind of like industrial, like commercial oven?
Yeah, so when we cook, there's an actual big kitchen oven that we do, and it's not that bad. We got a system down when we cook the turkey, and dude, the turkey we make it's better than anything you've ever had. I'm not kidding. I made it for my in-laws. This last Thanksgiving, I did Thanksgiving dinner, and I knocked it out of the park. I was like, y'all guys gonna have high cholesterol. It was like, I think 5 sticks of butter I put in this turkey, dude. Wow. Yeah, you needed to have a forklift to carry your ass out. It was everyone knocked on the ground. Yeah.
The real question I know that is on the mind of many. Were you wearing the cooking shorts? Uh-oh, no answer on that one.
It's not touching at the 50-foot pole. I know where this is going.
Yeah.
I like how this guy moves his head every single time. Just but yeah, I love butter and bacon. Butter and bacon. Yeah. What else?
You notice, Franny, he's avoiding the question.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that means there are pictures.
I like that. I like we have a what is this? This is funny. What is this? Captain, my man. The Borg are here. We're gonna die. I can't do a Chris Tucker voice, so I'm not going to do it. My voice
No, you
don't get
can't.
that
It's too
high.
monotone. Come on, man. Living it up a little bit.
Do you understand the words I'm coming out of my mouth?
That's the best I get.
Oh man. If anyone's new, trust me, we have more entertaining things to come. We are just filling in 30 minutes of playtime. Listen, brother, we're going to fill in 30 minutes of playtime
Right.
before Andy gets here. Because we've learned when Andy comes in here, he misses out on probably the best part, or the images and tweets. And he always comes at the very end, and he doesn't get to see them all. And he texted me the other time. He's like, look, dumbass, I want to see
Yeah,
some of
I-
these too.
I like coming at the end too.
Easy
think we all
comes,
do.
easy goes. My God, that last season of Archer just fell off the cliff. Episode 5, didn't it? It was just
Wait,
like,
how many? Wasn't it like a really, really short season?
there was like 3 of those in a row where they did like one takes on different types of like worlds for Archer. They put him in the 40s gangster world. Worked. There was another like dream world one-off season that worked, and then they did Danger Island, and it wasn't working right away, and at some point it just starts to get really bad.
Oh, that's season 9, and they're on season 13 right now.
The final season, the last one I saw, Danger Island, it wasn't up to the rest of their standards.
Yeah, that one says season 9 for Danger Island. That stuff was good though, man.
It was
I
weird
have
because
no
it was
idea what you
trying
guys
to
are
be
talking
better.
about.
Oh,
Steve's like,
Archer!
God damn it, guys! You guys are doing pop culture. This isn't what the show is for.
I'm like, I'm zoned out. I was like, what are these guys? I feel like we're on The View. You know when you guys watch The View and you have no
No.
idea what they're talking about? That's what I feel like.
No.
The what?
You know, I know what Steve
View.
really thinks.
Why are you watching the View?
Steve, you want to hear what's going on in your mind every time it starts going to pop culture?
Is
Yeah,
Ozzy's
what?
wife still on there?
Ah, shoot. Never mind. It looks like it's
That's
unlinked.
what's
Damn
good.
it.
That's it. Ah,
Um,
shoot. That's it. You nailed it, my friend. You nailed it.
Well, that works
No,
because
I feel-
apparently the audio link is broken. So, hey, at least I nailed it accidentally.
I can only take so much of pop culture stuff, and then it's like, man, I want to go watch like monster trucks. That'd be fun. I want to go to a NASCAR. I actually did finish Formula One, Drive to Survive on Netflix, and I was like, I want to go to a Formula One race and NASCAR. I feel like NASCAR
Formula
fit
1 and
perfectly
monster
as a redneck.
cars. Oh, wait,
Red-
wait.
What is
Guess
it?
what we got a little early?
Uh-oh.
I think the skill level has just gone up on here. Don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of articulated bits going on. And I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, we might see some more creations from the man, the myth, the legend, the man that brings you action figures. They're not dolls, they're action figures. Welcome, Andy Masterson.
Because men playing with dolls would be, well, real dolls
Porn?
maybe. Real dolls, that's a different story.
Yeah.
They're called Barbies. Gosh,
Some
guys,
say.
get it
Oh, you don't
right.
know about real dolls, Steve? the life-size silicone ones?
No, I'm married, dude.
You need to look at Japan.
Naughty dolls.
Tell you what, someday it may actually replace women because the real dolls don't talk.
Oh, thank the
Oh,
Lord.
man, shots fired.
Oh no, I think they can.
So
now. Just-
You had
just
me at
not
Now
Japan.
we
You don't have
can
to
get
sell
in
me on the not
conversation.
talking part.
So now we can get into the subject of, since it's March, some of us, I don't know if people on the East Coast or West Coast are into March Madness or not. Well, guess what? I thought, it's kind of a sports month. We all pick our favorite sports movie of the week. So, and usually if some of you guys have seen in the past episodes, we kind of put a twist to it. Like for February, it was our favorite romantic movies. We all pick action movies or very manly movies, because we don't like romantic movies. And, I thought, why not actually pick our favorite movies of sports? And it could be anything of any sports of such. Cricket, if you guys, I don't know if they have a cricket movie. That would be pretty cool. Directed and filmed by Tom Cruise and Michael Bay. Ooh, when you hit the ball, explosions happen. Yeah. So
like a Michael Bay
my
movie.
movie of the week would be Remember the Titans. That was a very fun movie growing up with Denzel Washington. He can do pretty much anything. I liked it. It was fun. It's a fun kind of high school movie. It's got humor. I like the plays that they do with the tackles. It was really cool. I like the way they filmed it and they got really close up and stuff. So that would be my sports movie of the week. Admiral, what would be your sports movie of the week be?
Believe it or not, my sports movie of the week is my favorite sports movie, and it's going to be on because baseball season is around the corner, is A League of Their Own. There's something really compelling about how much this team wanted to play baseball. People needed baseball to get them through World War II. All baseball was second tier, so why not go see a women's baseball team? And it's kind of like seeing like maybe indoor football, right? Like a good day out. Maybe it's a lot cheaper than regular baseball. Maybe they serve alcohol there, which is a big thing until the 60s. You couldn't get it in all stadiums. Gina Davis is the hottest thing ever, and she's hot in that movie. One of the greatest actors ever, the president from Independence Day, Bill Pullman, as a cameo in the movie. And if only he had given the Independence Day speech in that movie, it would have completed it. But I mean, it was still good to see him. The Madonna was really hot at that time. She was really good looking, hot, but is what I mean. And her career was in full swing, but she was gorgeous. And I just also like directed by Laverne. We see a lot of people from Laverne and Shirley in the movie peppered throughout. One of the soldiers is the big ragu. The movie's a lot of fun. And like, need I say more than just the two words, Tom Hanks?
Andy, what would be...
Oddly enough, Madonna has another connection with Independence Day because now she looks like one of the aliens.
Hey man, somebody's always got to play the bad guys.
Ooh. Andy, what would be your sports movie?
North Dallas 40.
There was a fisheye lens. What are you talking about?
Jeff, what would be your sports movie?
My favorite sports movie has to deal with a cheerleader and some of her friends that are down on their luck and need some money. I'm going to repeat last week's movie of the week with Debbie Does Dallas. No.
Next week,
joking again.
Dallas.
No, actually, my favorite movie. I don't even need to say the title. I'll just go here, see if you guys hear it.
You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow, up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
I hope I played the right sound bit, but it's Do You Believe in Miracles? Miracle.
1980 Rush. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That's, which movie? There's like two.
Yes. As a hockey player, I can't choose between the two. I just love every bit of each of them.
I remember watching that and like when Al Michaels came back and said like because we didn't see it live in America.
Yep.
They didn't think it was worthy of broadcasting the game because the U.S. team got lit up, like 13-2 the week before or 2 weeks before by the Russians at the Garden.
It was bad.
And they looked like little kids. It was like all the money was on the Russians. It was the height of the Cold War, and they come in there and do that.
Yeah, I have been lucky enough to not only kiss the ice at Lake Placid, but play on it. And it is like going to temple for me. It really is.
So you
don't want to go to the
That's okay,
you don't
man.
want to go to the Olympic Village because that part is a minimum security prison now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Mike, what would be your movie of the week?
Not everybody at once.
Mike, you can say
Okay.
Magic Mike.
As for
It's
me,
okay.
I'm gonna have to say Field of Dreams.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh, somebody else said that shortly
that
ago,
would
too.
be too obvious.
Scott Darth Vader.
Yeah, Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner, you know.
There it is. Axonar said Field of
For
Dreams.
some odd reason, just builds. Yeah, Field of Dreams. Just this compulsion to build a baseball diamond in a cornfield, and then in the end of it, he sees his dad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like it. There's a few Kevin Costner movies that I like, and for sports films, I like.
So these are all
Yeah.
good movies. All good movies. I think we're gonna have a plaque that says Debbie does Dallas just for fun, but we're
can't
we
believe he
have a
didn't say
couple of
Slapshot.
images.
I don't like that movie.
Oh,
I do not like Slapshot.
Too close
And
to home.
Maybe.
so we're
I
gonna
may know too many people like that.
So the GOAT has a movie of the week that he's gonna
Oh
bring
yeah,
up.
if we're doing sports stuff, I just gotta say it's the movie Signs because it's beating the shit out of aliens. But to be completely serious, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. It's gonna be dodgeball for me.
That's a sport. Counts.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
And Christine Taylor is smoking.
And I do believe there's one more person that may potentially want to share this right before we move into the topics. Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting a little cold in here. Chances are he either has multiple personalities or he's just really good at being an entertaining figure having fun on the internet. He is part of the Cotton Council. It is Snowdub.
What an introduction. Sorry I'm late, guys. We had to pay the puppets prostitution bill, and all we had was nickels and pennies left. So it took forever to count it out.
A snowman
It's okay.
is never late.
Not a problem.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Yeah.
Good point. It actually snowed here last night in Arizona, believe it or not. I saw cactus with snow tops.
Did you see that video last week of the snow in Saudi Arabia
That's
with
crazy.
the camels?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
was in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah, saw that.
No, for the future.
Second time that's happened.
I can't say how I know this, but crypto works really good with prostitution bills.
Oh, well, I'll pass that
Well, now we
information
got
along
questions.
to the Cotton
Sex
Council.
work is real work
I
in
got
New
the
York.
questions. I need the answers.
Write that down.
Oh no, I had the answer. I need the questions. That's what I got. You know what? Flip it on them. I'm like, what are you talking about? No one knows. So, Snowdub, or as I like to call Miss Piggy.
Yes.
What would be your movie of the week of a sports movie?
Oh man, there's so many good ones. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with the ones. I'm gonna go with the one that made me laugh the most. God, even then it's a toss-up. Let's just say I love these two golf movies, Happy Gilmore and Caddyshack. Both of them are just absolutely hilarious. Laughs from beginning to end. In Caddyshack, particularly, the scene between Chevy Chase and Bill Murray is one of the greatest double comedian moments you'll ever see in your life. Like watch that scene and watch magic happen, because I believe, if I remember right, there's a little bit of improv that was involved with that. And yeah, Caddyshack is probably my go-to, but Happy Gilmore was so good too, and with Bob Barker beating the hell out of Happy was
Oh
one of
god,
the best.
That was awesome.
The Price
was
is
great.
Right.
And they actually did a second fight too.
Bob.
It was like an award show. It was like a little special like insert they did. You can find it on the internet. But yeah, there's 2 fights actually. The second one was in a hospital room.
Bob Barker actually trained under Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
did.
also
Yep.
me and Bob actually have the exact same birthday as well.
And he dated Diane
Ooh.
Parkinson.
Come on down.
Barker's
Yeah,
beauties.
come on hard.
Oh yes. So we're gonna get into the next subject of let me get to it. We have a couple images. Twitter has been kind of slow with the Sims and the betas and all that stuff, but
I know.
I feel like they've caught on, and not because of what we're doing, but I think they've grown up out of it. It's a phase, and they're like, it's whatever. So we're finding headlines, and there's a couple that some of us found, and one that was pretty funny that I saw on Mike's show the other day. And I was like, I'm stealing this, and this is funny because this is perfect to talk about. And we could have fun with it. So, Goat, if you can pull up the first, it'd be the one that I emailed, and which I think both of these are from Mike. That's what Mike has provided us with some images, and I think that if we can pull up the first image,
I'd love to serve, my man.
I'm pretty sure this is the one you wanted me to pull up, but oh god, I'm so sick of seeing this kind of stuff. What's your guys' opinions before I bring Steve back in? We got to leave this up so the audience sees it for a little while. So let's go around. Admiral Teague, let's start with you.
Okay, this is like, at first when I saw this, it was a different iteration of the label. So it took me a minute to kind of understand even what was going on. It was like the her is like in turquoise and the she was in pink, but it was equal size. And all I could think was like, Barbara Hershey was hot, but like, I don't understand the statement here with just chocolate. And if this is could it be a leftover idea that was too dumb for Valentine's Day? These are rappers that were passed over, but they still have the chocolate. I mean, in itself it seems harmless, but it's weird. It's definitely weird. I'd eat the chocolate bar still.
Chocolate!
Chocolate! Take one of those with almonds and a Coke, please.
Oh boy, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Oh God, the amount of stupidity in this world just makes me apathetic for the human race at this point. Yeah, why blue? Why have the fonts in blue? I don't get this. Her for she, like even grammatically, this makes no sense. Like,
I never
who
even
cares?
noticed that till
It's
you
a
mentioned it.
Yeah, grammatically, this does not even make sense whatsoever. Her for she. What? Like, what? Like, it's just a dumb bar of chocolate, for God's sake, like any other bar of chocolate. How is this supposed to, like, I don't know, gain customers? This just is the most stupidest, retardest thing I've ever seen. And yeah, I'm going to use the word retarded because every time I look at this, it retards my intelligence by about 50 basis points on my IQ.
I think what I really hate about it the most is the fact that, one, like you said, her for she, like, what the hell is this? Two, you can see on there that they're actually not doing it for women. One, they're doing blue. Two, look real close right above where it says cookies and cream. Do you notice the same thing that I notice?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Did you assume the candy bar's gender? I'm sorry.
Miss Piggy, do you have anything to say on this?
Oh, I got a lot to say. Actually, Jolly just dropped a video on this recently, not too long ago on my channel. So if you want to check that out after the show. But I, for one, feel like women are up against a serious fight here. Not only in sports, now they're taking it, with their these ads. how much more can women actually get beat up in this type of woke objective before they start pushing back? That's what I see here. There should be so many women just outraged over this ad, just outraged.
I want to
I'm
agree with
shocked I
that.
don't see more of it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, just that aspect right there. I do think, like, is this the representation you want? A candy bar dependent person who seems to be possibly tripping? I mean, what's going on inside their head? You know, I mean, how does this advance anything? It's just gaudy marketing to like throw this on the label, make it different, and like people will notice. It's just guess M&M's did a bunch of equally dumb things. So like we're being out stupided here.
Graybeard, the lord of action figures. What do you have to say, sir?
It's false advertising. I mean, they're
I love it.
promoting they're promoting Hershey's cookies and cream when they should clearly put Hershey's with almonds because there's nuts in there.
Oh God, I hope somebody clips that. That was great.
That was good. That was good.
I mean, look,
And true.
You didn't grab that from Paul Chato, did you, Andy?
No.
Okay, because
What,
he tweeted something almost exactly the same. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's either going to be that or the Mounds Bar and Almond Joy. Like, you know, Almond Joy's got nuts, and Mounds don't. I guess which one that one is. Yeah, the problem with it is, though, Snow, is like that women being so naturally or, in theory, more empathetic and more compassionate. They want to be on that touchy-feely, like, you know, like, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings kind of thing. But you know what? When it starts to encroach on you and starts to take away things that women like first wave feminism, like I can agree with. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be property. You know, you're a human being. You have certain rights, blah blah blah, like everybody else. But the goal should be equality. The goal should not be like him, because they can say that they want equality, but they don't, because they want, like, oh, there's not enough women in CEO positions. There's a big disparity there. But guess what? There's also a big disparity in male trash collectors over female trash collectors. And I don't see anybody protesting that they can't get a job as a trash collector. I don't see anybody complaining that, like, plumbing is a male dominated industry because women are just dying to climb into a sewer and smell like shit all day. All these things. It's like, you know, it's what you want is like you want somebody to hold the door for you, but at the same time you want your advantage when it helps you, and you don't want it when you don't want it. It's like there's women.
Your cake and eat it too, basically.
Yeah, women hate being leered at, but like they all undo that button when the cop pulls them over so they don't get the ticket. You know, and obviously I'm generalizing here, but like, you know, there's a lot of advantages that women have that men just don't. You know, and it's just the way things are. And we can, you know, you can argue human nature all day long, but it's not going to change. You know, the only way that human nature can change is on an individual basis is if someone has the motivation to work on themselves daily and fight their nature. You have to fight your nature. Your nature says to you, like, eat all the chocolate. Your nature says to you, like, you know, hit on all the girls. Your nature says to you, sleep a little bit longer. It's harder to force yourself to do the things that you really don't want to do, but you know you should. And we're in this argument here about, like, you know, men should be very concerned about this because men have daughters. I've got a daughter, I've got a son and a daughter, and I don't want, you know, my daughter's advantages being knocked aside by some guy who, like, wants to get a scholarship or wants to win an award or just wants the attention. Because that space should be, if you want to make yourself a trans league, make yourself a trans league. I don't think that, you know, people should be, you know, made to feel less. I mean, but it's going to happen. Every single one of us, like, you know, yeah, I mean, really, if you want to be treated equally, you want to be treated fairly. Did you ever listen to guys on an athletic field like break each other's balls? We're friggin' ruthless. We are heartless. I mean, we pick up the thing that you should be most sensitive about, and we just eviscerate you for it. But we don't want, we don't want women treated like that. Like, and oh my God, like, I can't believe the way this person talked to me. What, just like you were a guy? So, but if you want to have your own league, by all means, have your own league. But don't tell me that I have to like pretend that the emperor doesn't have any clothes on. You can't be whatever you want to be. I'm sorry. Like, I'm never going to be 6'5". Do I demand that everybody walk a little hunched over so I can feel taller about myself? No. You learn to live with what you got and you start from there. Because I guarantee you somewhere there's somebody that identifies as a bird. Go up to the second floor and jump off and tell gravity your pronouns as you're going down.
Jeff, what do you think of this?
When I saw the tweet from Hershey's about it, I had one little simple line come back, and I was so glad my friend Politibunny over at Twitchy used it as her headline, and that is, Hershey chocolate bar, now with more nuts. Because really, between what this person has on them, most likely, the people in Hershey's social media or whatever, they're nuts for even going this route. It's stupid.
No pun intended.
Just literally sell me a freaking chocolate bar.
On the positive side, in about 3 weeks, there'll be a lot of cheap discounted Hershey's chocolate with bad labels. And once you take that off, the chocolate will be just as good. I mean, come on. This is I honestly feel like they must have been
Nuts lives matter.
Did they have this
right
for
before
Valentine's
Easter.
Day and scoff at it? Did they scoff at this for Valentine's Day and they're dumping them now? They're like, oh, it's too dumb. Because it's so dumb. It's like when they invent police cops on The Simpsons. It's like Hershey. It's like, what the hell? Like, what kind of creative problem with Madison Avenue? Thank you. That's the best you can fucking do with a 130-year-old American brand that's never not sold. You're about to give it a dip in sales.
When I first saw this,
where's my his she?
I think that look,
his
one of the most basic drives in all of human nature is procreation. And most people, I think, want to do that. Most people want to have something that lives on past, and they want to have just the experience of parenthood and things like that. And when people have these issues, you're pretty much deciding right then and there that you're not going to be part of that club, and you're not going to be you're never going to get a chance to experience that. Now, obviously, parenthood isn't for everybody, but at the same time, you have to recognize that every single human being on this planet is the result of a binary biology. It's just a fact. And it doesn't mean
Shut up, Andy.
It doesn't mean you should look down on people and treat them like that they're some kind of freak or something like that. Now,
I thought it was through osmosis.
Well,
I was conceived by the Force.
Unless, of course, you're a drag queen story hour person, then you're a freak. Because anybody that wants to gyrate in front of kids, I have a wood chipper out back that needs a little fixing. Go take a look inside it for me. But nobody's saying that you should alienate people and treat them horribly. But for God's sake, I saw somebody arguing with Eric July about his comic book, and they're arguing back and forth so you don't think that children should know that gay and trans people exist? How the hell is that even possible in the modern day? It's everywhere. It's if aliens were to come down tomorrow, they would think that mankind is, sorry for using that sexist term, mankind is probably 80% gay, and the population, why is it at 8 billion people now? If there's this many gay people, it's it just doesn't work. It's a denial of reality. Like
mankind. That word should have new meaning for all of us this day.
Yeah. And Andy, it's
What's a
they
man?
kind. It's they kind. Or Z kind.
or whatever made up word you want to do this week. You know.
When I saw this commercial, I was like, if you're gonna trap, because I feel like men have just dominated every single thing that women are doing, and which is sad. I don't think that
Well, yeah, because we're good at it.
well, yes, we're good at pretty much every goddamn thing except giving birth. The day that we men give birth, game over. You've lost. But when I see this,
Think where that
I
would come
see
out
us,
of naturally.
oh man, and it's kind of sad when you at least pick someone who's like a guy who's somewhat attractive. Like none of this like weird. Have you ever noticed like when they pick someone, a guy to put makeup on and everything, and they got like this weird looking teeth thing going on. There's always a gap, and it's like you can clearly tell it's a guy, and it's like I just it's one of those things where it's just
Lauren Bacall made it, or Lauren Hutton made it work.
when you going the other way, they seem to be more successful. My friend's sister-in-law is now his brother-in-law, and I couldn't tell meeting them. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on, anything else, but to appearances, I couldn't tell, and he had to tell me later.
That's some crazy Kool-Aid. Crack cocaine, hell of a drug. But go put up the last image. This one, Mike, this is the one that Mike showed us.
Oh,
he
yeah.
sent us. And
Yeah.
This one is pretty insane.
Tuesdays too.
Yeah.
Oh
What
boy.
did it say? Canada leads the charge. God.
Hi, my name's Tiffany. My pronoun.
So he won by a nose.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
He looks
it
like
was
he
pretty
looks
cold,
like
so
he's singing from
there was
Rush.
shrinkage.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys want to discuss this first, or do you want to go for the surprise?
The surprise is always a penis, isn't
Ooh.
No,
You're assuming,
but
Andy.
it involves a dude. No.
My thought
Hey,
here is
Canadians
like,
Spider-Man.
why maybe throw out like a combined category and see who wants to be
Yes.
most badass? Because at the end, like it's most likely going to be a male winner anyway. It's kind of prohibitive.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe just throw that out there to defuse the situation because we're stuck with this for a little while we figure it out.
I don't know if
it
there's
is strange to behold, though.
I don't personally know if there's anything such as a negative boner, but if there is, I think I just got one.
It's called a
Yeah.
soft off.
He's out. Snow's out. He's now an innie.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
now officially a turtle head, but it poked back in the shell.
And for every Blair
I'm
White,
not coming
there's,
out. I'm not jumping out.
I'm
But
afraid.
that would immediately make you trans up. So, because it's an innie now.
Oh man,
It's
I
really
can't win.
made
I can't win
you
for
fuck a
losing.
woman at that-
Right?
I would want to get together money for like a
Oh,
sponsored combined event and just call it like every person for themselves and see who wins that like triathlon. Just do it.
Zombieland.
There we
Who
go.
said something about a
There
turtle?
we go. Yeah.
That would be a good another way of doing it. Sure.
Which one of you said something about a turtle?
Turtle.
Snow said turtlehead.
Am I
Oh.
not turtle
Oh,
enough
did he?
for you?
I've got a turtle head poking out.
Something like that. I got a tail growing here.
This article reminds me of when Dave Chappelle did the joke. Yeah, it was Dave Chappelle on LeBron James going into the women's NBA, which no one watches. No, I don't know a single person that watches except the parents of whoever's playing, and I don't even think they know who they're
Yeah.
who they're rooting for. But
Do you remember the TV show In Living Color?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, Vera.
Oh yeah.
We used to laugh
Yeah.
our ass off at that, and now it's real life.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at the guy who's swimming in what is it, Penn
Vietnam.
State or something?
Yeah.
Sorry, trans woman, whatever. It's a dude.
It's a dude
who was swimming in the college and just like smoked them, and
Mm-hmm.
then. But
Well,
then
the-
you look
the
at the
wor-
rankings in college; they're like below everyone else, and this is where it gets to the point where it's sad, where guys have to do this. Like they're not good. They're good at sports. They would kick my butt if I played against them. But then you have to do this whole. Well, I'm not doing that well against guys, so I'm gonna say I'm a chick. And I'm gonna do all this stuff, and then I'm gonna compete so I can get a gold medal or get first place. It's like that just means you solidified yourself as not a man because you've pussed out.
Well, in all
become-
fairness,
exactly.
In all fairness, he does have a little bit more drag than the women do.
I think does anyone leave there
He's got a
not
point.
knowing who the true winner is? Honestly, I feel bad for the person who doesn't get their trophy and doesn't get the notation, but I don't think anyone stood there believably thinking that that was the true winner of that category.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No, exactly. You weren't man.
so
enough
there's
to
a
compete in your
hollowness
own
to it.
division. Yeah, exactly.
The
You had to beat a
hollowness
bunch
to
of
it.
girls. Ooh, what a big man you are.
Not only
Oh,
that,
sorry,
though,
you're a big woman.
let me use a word that maybe it's old-fashioned, but it's poor sportsmanship, which even female athletes practice. It's not called sportswomanship when they do it. Do they have a word for female chivalry? When a women's field hockey team, or even a hockey team takes the field for some college or a women's basketball team, who want to win it just as much, whether people watch it or not is another thing. I mean, people in a bar might stare at anything, but point is, like, they probably still say, let's show good sportsmanship. I bet you they still use that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest problem.
Some of the beer leagues, hockey. I see some men my age smoking the moves, strength, physicality with some of the recently graduated high school hockey players who are good, get University of Vermont or New Hampshire scholarships, and they're not even close to the same tier as some of these old farts like myself out on the rink. It's not even close. So I put some earrings on and some red lipstick, and all of a sudden I can go back to University of New Hampshire and win.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Jeff, if you need any advice on how to properly wear a dress,
we'd have to be red skirting you.
Look to your right.
Yeah, that's right. only I can rock that. So
okay, fair point. I won't try.
Thanks to my wife. So
drag time Man-O-Rama.
who egged me on and got me on the dare, man.
Oh, guess what you're gonna be doing? Put a dress on. We're gonna get into the chats. Any questions or any random comments in the chat? And we'll just, this is the moment where we can let the audience participate in the show. Make them feel like, hey, I'm doing something. So I'm gonna go through. If we can get chat comments popped up. If not, I will look through them. There's a lot of comments. Holy crap. Good thing I don't know how to read, because this will be fun.
That's right. Your
let's see.
education served a good purpose. I'm telling you what.
Yes.
Shazam!
I have hooked on phonics in my short bus. How are you guys doing?
Steve, I want to hear your Jethro Bodine one of these days.
My what?
Jethro Bodine. He was from the Max Baer played him on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
He was the nephew Jethro. I know it's way before your time, but
if I listen to him long enough, then I will actually get the voice down a little bit.
Oddly enough, Max Baer used to have the wildest, most raucous Hollywood parties out there.
I've heard that somewhere before. Yeah.
By the end of the night, clothes were very optional.
He was second generation Hollywood. Oh well, no, Max Bear wasn't. Max Bear Jr. was.
So Guatemalan Rooster says, if you could outfit your short bus with a flux capacitor, where or when would you go? That's a really good question.
After I got rich enacting Biff's plan, because I mean we're all doing that first, right?
I would go back in time and create Google. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Like, I'd probably go into the future. No, yeah, I'd probably go in the future. No, man, I'd have to go in the past, and I just
I would
make
go
a whole
back in
bunch of
time.
bets. I would go. No, I know what I would do. I'd go back in 2004, put a huge bet on the Yankees and Red Sox ACLS game.
That's exactly that was what I was gonna say, because the Yankees had them down 3-0, right? 3-0, and
Yeah,
the Red Sox
I'd
won
put $1
4 in a
billion
row.
on the Red Sox. I wonder how much money that would be.
You know what?
And that would
To be
just
honest
buy
with
the
you,
world.
I sitting there as a New Yorker when they couldn't win it twice in a row. The third time when they lost that third one, everyone was just like we were expecting we might win the fourth one, but we weren't too sure, and everyone was hating Rodriguez. Everyone hated Rodriguez. Well, you know,
Christopher Dominguez
put shame on our team.
Well, hey, hold on a minute, Steve.
Yeah.
I want to ban Guatemalan Rooster from every chat I'm involved in because he dropped a Back to the Future reference. Now, I don't know if you caught Mike's show Tuesday night. I hate Back to the Future. Hate.
Why do you hate Back to the Future? What
does.
What did the car ever do?
No,
to you?
don't ask him. Don't ask him. He's gonna bring actual.
No. We'll say that for later.
Okay.
I don't have the box of tissues ready.
He made me not like it anymore based on actual science.
I've been through this one ad nauseum. There's only one real problem I could think of. Well, forget it. We'll just leave it there.
But
yeah,
if you were able to actually solve the mathematics correctly in the time that the DeLorean allegedly could do it, I'd want to go find out what actually started the Black Plague.
It was fleas.
China.
No, they're not sure the Black Death and
Listen,
the bubonic
everybody.
plague are the same thing anymore. There's a lot of discussion among historians. They think that maybe one round of Black Death might have been bubonic plague, but there was like a few plagues went through, and maybe there were several forms of this, but at the end, it was so contagious and so deadly that it self-exterminated.
Yeah. I actually did 2 podcasts on it, and the information that is not out is incredible. So I would love to know what actually it was.
I think Andy had it right.
Several different. One of them was like a lot like the hantavirus, I think.
Yeah.
So Disney sheep herder. Sorry, sheepherder. Disney sheepherder says, "Okay, Rancor Steve. On a serious side, the ladies want equal pay in sports. Seriously, it's the sponsors who give the money by the blame, but they blame the fans. Can't pay if nobody watches. Here's the thing about the whole pay with sports. The more people who watch, it is partially the fans. The more people watch the sports, you get more money out of it. Now, there was a thing. Good example is the women's soccer and men's soccer, and men. They did it. They took a deal that allowed them to get more money, but women could have done the same deal, but they didn't. They did it in a different way. I forget exactly how. I think it was like a monthly pay or like as a lump sum, as like a whole. And the men, I think they did the sponsor, and women had the opportunity to do that. They didn't really take that one because they thought, oh, I can get more this way. In the case with also WNBA, no one watches that. Even I watched the interview where even the chick, there was one WNBA player who she couldn't name her own team players. Like she just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
man.
How long is there a season, right? It's like 5 weeks and then like a 3-week playoff. It's not that.
It's in a cycle.
I
But
don't know.
when it becomes
Phrasing.
the pay thing, it is the fans. You have to, you know, fans have to watch the sport and then we'll get
Yeah.
paid.
Yep.
And I think that's how it goes. It's yeah, I hate the whole equal pay thing. Like,
Well,
you
it's
know,
stupid.
do
And
your
I mean,
work.
look, they go and make a big deal out of like that. There's a lot of sports out there. I'm sure somewhere out there there's an American men's badminton league, and I'm sure they make jack shit because people are, are only considered. They only want to watch. They want to watch hockey. They want to watch football, baseball, and basketball. And there's a smaller group of people that want to watch golf, but that's about it. And the idea that like, oh well, guess what? And we want to see the biggest, strongest competitions. That's why all the sanctimonious bullshit about all the steroid use and stuff like that. The fans want the players to abuse the shit out of steroids because they want to see the big fights and the big hits and these gigantic men like colliding into each other and smashing into each other. That's what they want to see. They want to see that kind of performance. You could easily just say, you know what, we're going to drug test everybody before every single game, and you'd put an end to it like that. But the truth of the matter is, the players want to compete at that level. The owners want them to compete at that level. The fans want them to compete at that level. The sponsors want them to compete at that level.
Mm.
But everybody's saying, oh, steroids are a terrible thing. We don't want people to take them. Sorry, Maury, but like the lie detector says that you're lying on that one. It's like, you're full of shit. So
I'll
it's just a
watch
small
women's
percentage.
UFC.
Can I just point out the one thing we do know is didn't Brittany Griner get what turned out to be something like $300,000 for 2 years of WNBA, which is like 4 months of the year. So I mean, it's not like they're starving. You know,
No.
I don't. Was she a top tier player?
I don't know
Really?
because I
mean,
don't watch it.
they've done a
Well,
good.
she's
And if you
also a
want
dude.
to, let's apply. Yeah, she's not the cutest, but let's apply the same nature that men had. And Andy, maybe you remember this, but it's only since we've been children, perhaps, that a baseball player has been a full-time job. If you read books about baseball players during World War II,
Yep.
baseball players up until maybe the age of like the 1969, dare I say, Miracle Mets of my town, Queens, where the bunkers live. But the point is, there was a lawsuit in like 1973 by a guy named Kurt Flood. And until then, baseball player was a part-time job where you made like the equivalent of like what Brittany Griner's making now. They didn't do all that great. They had to have other jobs in the winter. Like most of them sold cars.
Yeah.
It's true fact.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
and a lot of these players who are saying that they're not getting equal pay, well, yes, proportionately dollar for dollar, you're not equal. But if you look at the growth of your league, and in 20 years, the WNBA's tried very hard. And I guess I would call that's probably, who wouldn't call it probably a fun enough afternoon out with your friends, right? It's cheap. But they're getting, she didn't need to have any other job. I mean, $175,000 a year after taxes, I could squeeze by.
Yeah.
So, but Joe DiMaggio was the first player to make $100,000 a year in 1949.
Yeah, and Nolan Ryan was the first millionaire.
Right, and like only in the 1970s do baseball players start being able to play baseball only.
And I know this isn't the sports show yet, Steve, but
No, not yet.
since a little bit of a talk about baseball and the part-time work,
Wow,
that's nice. There is
nice, man.
one story if you love baseball and you love about side work, it's The Spy Who Was a Catcher, Mo Berg.
That's a
Look
good
into
movie.
that story.
The book is
it
better.
deals with the atomic bomb, talks about spying, science, and baseball. The movie is iffy, but the
Yeah.
actual history is amazing on that.
If you ignore a couple of scenes, the movie's a little bit better. But the
Yeah,
book,
the hint at
Yeah.
he could have been gay scenes, even though he was a playboy.
We don't know. It seems like he was just an awkward guy. He might have
Yeah.
had a girlfriend or gone to paid for chicks or something. We don't know. He was a
Yeah.
weird guy, but that
Smart.
is a great book. He spoke German perfectly.
Yes. And in Harvard, if I'm not mistaken, the catcher and the second baseman, the two of them, they were speaking in Latin during the game, so the other players wouldn't know what's happening.
It's a matter of record now that he was able to comprehend the German scientists' lecture on their heavy water experiment and tell us effectively when their bomb would be ready, which was this ain't gonna work.
Yep.
Not only do they think, not only do they know that, not only are they confused, they know it.
Yes. Highly recommend research. Even watching the movie. Sorry to sidetrack a little bit, but to me, that was an amazing story and show.
Oh, this is great. This is the best troll ever.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh my God. What a shock. What a shock.
The plot sickens.
Somewhere out there, there's a functional person like Chaz Bono who turns this on its ear, but this story speaks for itself. Look at that headline. It's insane.
Now they're going to be paying this guy for sitting at home doing nothing because, well, they can't fire him because then they'd be anti-trans. And
only if he's in a unionized school district, he could be. We
He's
just
in
don't
Canada.
know.
It's Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's
unionized. Canada. Sorry, Michael.
He's getting that job back with back pay in Canada.
And what is up with all these Canadians?
That's right.
It's like
Oh,
the
he's
third
in
one in a row
Ontario.
now. Nothing against Canada, but
It's
you guys
because
really
of communist government against Trudeau. So
get some more sun, maybe. I don't know.
There's
There's something wrong with their brain.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't make fun of Trudeau, man. I'm Cuban too. I'm also part Cuban, man. Let's be cool.
Right.
It's good to see a Cuban guy go far. I mean, I'm proud of him. Like I'm proud of Desi Arnaz and Charlie Sheen.
And nobody pulls off blackface like Trudeau. That guy.
Actual formal. He was only exactly.
I don't know. Ted Danson did pretty good.
He was a part-time drama teacher.
Robert Downey Jr.
Well, yeah, he deserved an Academy Award for that.
Yeah.
But they're trying to cancel him now for Tropic Thunder.
My Nam guy dad enjoys Tropic Thunder, so how horrible could it be?
Well, in fact, I think they went after Ben Stiller more at the beginning of that movie when it came out for making fun of disabled. It wasn't until after the Iron Man, saga came and went. That's when they started coming after Robert Downey.
It's strange that movie caused so much controversy because it did do so well.
But I mean,
they had me thoroughly fooled with that opening fake trailer. Like the first couple, I was like, huh? Because Hollywood would do that. And that's why Hollywood won't stick up for it.
Yeah, I think that's the greatest troll right there.
All I know is back in high school, if we would have saw that thing walk into our high school with them big old fake things strapped to its chest, it would have been ridiculed, made fun of, and literally just completely destroyed emotionally by a bunch of asshole, 17, 18-year-old punk boys that would have not stood for that. Harsh truth, but it's the truth. Boys, especially in their teen years, are relentless and ruthless, and I would never want to let that stand.
Yeah, I merely had a funny last name, and I had never heard the end of it. So you're right.
Yeah, that's why it just shocks me.
Another dude.
That's what shocks me that these high schools are letting this stuff happen, and the kids aren't standing up for it, and fighting back.
So, what'd you think of the surprise, Steve?
Dude, that would I thought about bringing that on, but I was like, I don't know in the back of my head, and I didn't see this part at all. I didn't know this guy was getting paid and everything. I wanted to bring this story up, but reading it, oh my gosh, that's the biggest troll ever. He wins. That's cool, dude. That's hilarious.
Borderline genius.
Oh, dude, it's well played. But we're gonna get into just briefly Talk
I would
about
give
the
so much to
manliest.
hear what the students said about this teacher.
What great knockers! We're gonna.
In your new book, man.
Our new teacher's boring by comparison.
But we're gonna get into just briefly. Talk about the manliest story. We like like in Jaws where they show off the scars. Every guy has this competition of where we're gonna who can top the other person. So just briefly, just give one of a very manly story that just if you think this is going to top every single person. Let's go with Snow Dub. What would be your manliest story ever told?
Oh boy, what put me on the spot? I'm sure I'll think of something better. Once a couple more guys go, but I'll go with the first one off the top of my head was a very manly moment was the Snow Kid, my son. We were about to go to a Comic-Con convention, and I wanted to introduce him to who I idolized as a young boy, and that was the immortal Hulk Hogan. And my son didn't really know who he was, so I showed him WrestleMania 3, and when he body slammed Andre the Giant, and I saw the amazement in my son's eyes. His eyes literally blew up like, oh my God, I can't believe that the Hulkster body slammed that monster. And so I relived that moment through him. And what a cool moment it was to go to the con a couple days later and to meet the iconic Hulk Hogan, aka Terry Bollea. And it was great. We dressed up in our Hulkster gear and went and shook the man's hand. And I even sounded like Randy Savage when I shook his hand. I was like, feel the power, brother. When we put our hands together, and we all got our pictures taken together. And my son has that picture up on his wall right now, and it's a very, very toxic, masculine picture of me, Hulkster, and the boy.
That's great.
Nice. Andy, what would be your manly story?
I've been working
Can you
since I
top
was
that?
15 years old.
Wait, what? I missed it.
I've been working since I was 15 years old. That's what a man does. Get up and go to work.
Oh, yeah, I had a paper route at 13,
like
so take that.
Yeah, I think I might be able to top that.
Oh, well, okay.
I've been working
Okay,
since I
hot
was
shot.
6. Been working since I
you were
was
6.
6.
My first
Yep.
job was loading clay pigeons on a machine at a gun club.
Oh,
My
nice.
first job was filling paint buckets for a paint crew that my stepfather was working on at 9 years old. Now I'm a painter.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my first job, I was a bellboy in a hotel, a big hotel.
Teague, what would be your manliest story?
Well,
Briefly,
I mean,
how could you top these guys?
Well, I would say last summer at the bar that is underneath my building, I was in. We were all dying down there because the duct was clogged up by a pigeon nest, right? So I went up there with a broom, and I wasn't, no ill intentions. I was just going to try to clear the pigeon nest so that we could just live our lives and not have to smell the pigeons. And these are an endangered species. But damn it, the thing came at me, and I managed to swat it out of the air with the broom handle. That's about the manliest thing I ever did. And then the air conditioning at the bar was fine.
Yeah, there we go.
Did you go when you hit it?
I covered myself in its blood and danced around naked, screaming on my roof in Queens. And I looked across the river. I looked across the river in the moonlight at Stark Tower, and I screamed into the air. Bark at the moon, like Ozzy Osbourne says. Yes, it was a seminal moment.
There we go. You made
Jeff, what would be your manliest? Oh, he said he's gonna be right back. Never mind. Whoopsie daisies.
He played hockey.
Good thing.
That
Yeah, him just said I played hockey. Just wins.
I think I murdered something. Come on. I mean, we should at least shouldn't
It's
that
up
be
there. It's up there.
I want to know what the chat thinks.
What was
York
it?
pigeon on top of that.
I killed for beer.
So-
I mean, come on, that's pretty manly.
Yeah.
When I was
gotta give you that.
when I was a kid in I think 95, 96, somewhere around there, I split my head open for doing something stupid. I thought, I'm riding a bike, satellite dish. I can go underneath it. And it was like one of those big radio, like satellite dishes, like just that you see out in the field. And I hit that, split my head open, got stitches. And then that night ended up playing T-ball. And I split it open again and then got stitched up. And the next day I went to play T-ball. My dad says, "Hey, if you can walk, you can play." And I was like, okay. That's as manly as it's like, yeah. It probably
And that's
explains
the
my
day the
short
butt
bust.
shrunk.
I
Yeah,
walked there. Hey guys, I can play.
My dad could not stand me not playing baseball really, really hard. I got in trouble for that one. Yeah, well, if I didn't, it's like, you run harder down that first base line, asshole. Yeah, he could. So he was a really nice and loving dad, but he had no stomach for poorly played baseball. And what can I tell you? He just, he also he jeered the hell out of Darryl Strawberry too.
Yeah, to be all in or nothing.
I learned something. Well, my wife learned something about when a guy gets his head hit, like if he bangs his head or hits his hand or something, or does something with tools, don't walk up and say how you're doing. I remember I was loading up the truck with Gary with all the tools, and I hit the door right on the head, and I just dropped to my knees and just it hurt. I was like, and then he just walked up close and he realized I ain't gonna ask him how he's doing because the next thing you know, I want to punch the door. So my wife's like, why do you get so mad when you get hit, when you hit your hand or do something or it doesn't go your way? I was like, just don't ask. Just let me be. I'll go. Yeah.
Where do you see how
She
mad
learned
you
real
get when
quick.
your kids get hurt? You even get madder when they do it to themselves. Like, nobody hurts my kid. Not even you.
I remember my as I grew up, my mom said, "Don't ever touch a stove that's on." I touched it. There you go.
Nice.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Hulkamania, run wild.
Snow, have you seen that video of the kid, Hulk and the kid? Like he walks into the shop and he's going right back at Hulk Hogan. He's like, "Let me tell you something, Hulkster." Like, and
That's such
it's
a
a
cool
great bit.
video.
See if I can find
it. There's a lot of crazy things that guys do. Like sit in a chair with a picnic table and let a bull run around. That's pretty stupid. You never know what's gonna happen.
But damn, it looks fun.
You knew I was how did you know I was a rodeo clown? That one summer between semesters where I needed to scare up some money. How did you? Who told him about that?
We've been following you.
Oh God,
We all know.
You've been
I was muted the whole time. Jeez.
I knew I was sus, but wow.
I need to figure out a better way to share pictures.
We knew you were that manly.
Actually, that is a pretty badass thing to do, is rodeo con. You got to be pretty fucking crazy.
Rodeo con, you got to be fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like
I'm assuming Calgary Stampede. Damn.
I'm assuming meth figures in.
Yeah, but referring to that Hulkster picture, guys, I'm not that short. It's just Hulkster's that tall. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's 6'6", 6'7", something like that. So
is
he's
he
a big
really?
man. Yeah, he's a monster. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then you looked at him next to Andre the Giant, and he looked small.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how they post a picture of like you get I think it was Andre the Giant. I think it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No,
and
Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain.
That's what. Yeah, it was Will Chamberlain, and you just see Arnold Schwarzenegger looks like a little kid to them. He's all like, "Hey guys," but you always see
Arnold told everybody he was 6'2", but he really wasn't.
No,
he's like what?
He was like 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's like 6 foot. Yeah.
I
Just
think
like
that's
Stallone's
I
only
like
5'7", I think. Stallone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My sister-in-law met Sean Penn one time, and she's 5'3", and she said he was barely taller than her, and he had heels on his shoes like that big too.
You want
So I
something
got it from
crazy?
Tom Cruise.
Wow.
Check out the final fight scene of Game of Death. Bruce Lee versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now that is crazy. Just watching that fight.
So, did you ever see a few years back there was martialartsmart.com was selling yellow T-shirts with the black piping with the footprint on the chest?
Oh, they did have that, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's great.
they still sell the pajamas at the Bruce Lee store, but I've never seen one with the footprint. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar kicks Bruce in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, it leaves a footprint, and the bottom of the foot is at his belly button. The top of his foot is almost to his neck.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's how big his foot was, right?
Watching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar move that, it's almost seemed like Ray Harryhausen was doing it. You just like seeing somebody that lanky move like that was like it just looked alien.
It's crazy. It's a crazy looking fight, and it's funny because Bruce was actually training him in real life, so he was able to to do that with him. Yeah.
Are they yelling, shouting a little bit? How long do we go with no dialogue? Right? They just kind of fight.
Yeah, it's mostly no dialogue in that fight, actually. Yep.
Grunting, reacting. I don't know. Like it's not. There are no words.
Well, the movie wasn't finished, so
right.
That's a tragedy too. But I think maybe that fight scene might be so perfect anyway.
There is a soundtrack, some dialogue that goes along with it, and it is completely early 70s. Like Bruce says to him, "Come on, baby, you want to groove? Let's groove." And it's like really dated, but it's pretty cool.
You could build a really good like old school rap song around that.
Yeah. I know Shannon Lee has control of most of the stuff with Bruce Lee these days, so if we ever get like a good rendition of Game of Death, it'll be because she allowed it, but I still feel like we should see some kind of remastering of what footage was done of that movie.
Yeah, just the fight scenes. I don't want to see the Billy Lowe, and Bruce Lee with the
No, all that can get cut out. Yeah, we'll take the last 20 minutes.
That's-
Thanks.
Have you guys ever seen the movie The Raid?
Yes, I got part 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, so that movie, even though there's dialogue, it's mainly just fighting.
Pretty much.
Intense fighting. And then I think it's the second one. There's a kitchen fight scene. It's probably the most, like, it's like a dance. It's insane of how smooth. And I'm like, holy shit. This is the coolest thing ever.
It has one of the longest fight scenes that's continuous without a cut, is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's the kitchen scene, right?
I believe so. It's either that or like that hallway scene where they fight with the axes and stuff.
Yeah.
What year is this movie from?
It's a recent one.
2000.
If you guys haven't been able to see The Raid and you like martial arts, it's definitely choreographed, but it's done in a way that's just it's insane. The amount of there's no way the guy would survive, but it's a pretty fun, just kick back, relax. And the first one felt kind of like Dread, the remake of how he's going up the building. And that's what it felt like. And it was fun. And another one that I kind of like is the John Wick movies where there's dialogue in it, but it's just the fight scenes are just so I'm mesmerized. And I can't wait in the trailer for the fourth one, he's beating the shit out of a guy with nunchucks. Like he's just like bam, bam, bam. And I was like, that's pretty cool, man. So
my favorite John Wick kill is when he kills Ruby Rose, Batwoman, in is it John Wick 3? He just like she tries to take him on, and she's like tries to go at it with him with a knife, and he just like kind of turns it around and stabs her right through the hand, and then jams it right into her heart. He just absolutely physically overwhelms her, and they just sort of put that like addressed that trope. And with Batwoman herself, I thought it was a great cameo for both. For her, and it was a great moment for the movie because we were so sick of Batwoman at that point.
I like when they actually introduced the whole pencil concept, where in the first one they talk about how he kills a man, he kills them with a pencil. and he finally does it. And I think the second one or the third one, and he's just like whap, and I was like, well, there you go. But I like those dumb action movies. They're just dumb. Just you can shut your brain off and enjoy them. And we need more. I think we need more movies like that, just to boost up the testosterone in guys and just be like, I can go do that. Like I watched The Warrior, and after watching it, I was thinking I could be an MMA fighter. And I talked to a guy. He's like, no, you really couldn't. I was like, why? He's like, because you need at least good 10 years of training, and you look like an age where your knees are about to go, your back. And I was like, it'll be fine. I'll do it. So I did a little sparring with him. I got my ass. I did a little sparring with him. He kicked my ass. I was like, I'm never gonna do this ever.
Yeah, these days, you want to be an MMA fighter, you better be thinking about it like in your teens and early 20s.
Yeah.
Now, is the aspiration to be like John Wick so that you can date the same chicks that Tom Brady dates? Because the chick who dies at the beginning and passes away is Tom Brady's first girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was his first wife.
I don't think they were ever married. She has his kid though.
Oh.
And if he stayed in the league, I wanted him to stay in the league 2 more years so his kid could get through college and play in the league at the same time, and like a father-son game. Because the longer he stayed in football, the younger old got.
Yeah.
It's like we had a 47-year-old competitive football player. So, okay, fuck you. Like, no one can really call anyone old now. Not that I have a vested interest in that.
No,
that's
crazy. I knew one guy that was in MMA, and he said, getting into his mid-30s, he was really feeling it, and he was good. He was, oh God, he was like next to no fat on him whatsoever, and he was built and short, but he was built. And he said, as soon as like 20-year-olds, young 20-year-olds were starting to beat him, he said, yeah, it was time to tap out.
Well, you got to look at the fact that we're seeing a lot of the NFL players these days from, back in the 60s and 70s when they didn't have as good a gear, taking all those headshots. They're having a lot of problems and issues with their, with their brains and stuff. And I feel that might be the same thing that'll happen to these MMA fighter guys, especially the ones that got knocked out a lot. And we don't know the long-term effects of this yet because MMA is still kind of new, even though, fighting's been around forever. As a competitive sport like this, it's still kind of new. We don't know the after effects. So I don't know how these boys will be looking in their 60s, 70s, and 80s after taking a lot of beatings. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe the training and the staying in shape will help. But you don't want to get your head knocked around too much in life because ask Muhammad Ali, later in life, it could really come back to bite you.
Yeah. As a Jet fan, I fear that the NFL will end before they ever win a Super Bowl because of that. I mean, it just seems like it's inevitable that we're in the last 20 seasons of the NFL.
Well, you just got to work on the butt fumbles, man. That's all.
My team, the New York Jets, is the worst team in the world. Admiralty likes the most cursed football team. And you know what the most manly thing I did was?
Watch a butt fumble.
I wore this hat on Mondays, no matter what happens, every Monday, all through football season, unless we play on Thursday, in which case I wear it on Friday, or play on Monday, in which case I wear it on Tuesday. But win or lose, I wear my Jet hat the day after the game because I'm a real Jet fan, and I'm a fan when we lose as much as when we win.
I'm so sorry.
Good luck with Derek Carr.
Are you saying that our vaccine maker owner maybe is a Bond villain idiot who got kicked out of both England and Scotland and should be scoffed at and is the father-in-law of Tila Tequila? Are you saying that we're not supposed to take him seriously? Are you saying that? Are you saying that our part owner, Tila Tequila, is a dismissible individual? Is
oh,
that
my
what you're
God.
trying to tell me?
Yes.
I remember that show, too.
What you're going to tell me is that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has questionable outcome, just like the Johnson & Johnson football team. They told us that would be the best one. Oh, you only need one shot. I'm like, I've heard this one before. They're like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't want Johnson & Johnson. That's for fucking sure. I want that shit aside. I'll wait for someone else to develop a vaccine.
Well, speaking of football, I actually met the owner of the Seahawks before he passed away, Paul Allen. But of course, like you guys, he was involved with Microsoft. He was what's his name's best buddy, Gates. But I'll show you the guys the football here real quick. This is it here. I met a bunch of players that day. This was at the 2015 NFC Championship, and it was a big comeback win against the Green Bay Packers.
Nice.
Paul Allen's signatures right there, kind of in the. This was actual confetti that was on the field when we won.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it's pretty cool, man.
I won't bring up 2014.
Let's not. And then I don't want to talk about Patriots, but I did get to see Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. play together on the Mariners. They were together for a year. Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. was one of the greatest baseball players of all time. He didn't use any performance-enhancing drugs. There's no way he cheated. He played the game like a gentleman the way Derek Jeter played it. And everyone should aspire to be a baseball player like Ken Griffey Jr. or Derek Jeter. If you hate the Yankees, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah,
sure.
I can agree with that.
Yep. He's a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad he never won a championship.
Because he didn't want to be a Yankee.
Right.
He refused to play for the Yankees because he said George Steinbrenner was too mean and too focused on winning. And I'm like, well, maybe there are
one of the best sound bits is him interacting with fans about that.
They
brought Senior over to the Mariners to keep Griffey from leaving the team because he wanted his dad to come play for his last couple seasons of his career. So,
Ken Griffey Sr. was a New York Yankee.
I think he was a Red for a while too.
Yes, he was a Yankee, and Griffey Jr. got blasted for being in the field.
That's why he hated Steinbrenner, and that's why he would never be a Yankee. But I say, hats off to Mr. Steinbrenner, who told his team, get your fucking kids out of your workplace. This is a place to learn to play. I want to win. I want my fucking
except
trophy.
for one, Bucky Dent, I think it was, his kid was out there, but Griffey Sr. wasn't allowed to bring his kid out.
If that component is true, then I agree that it was wrong.
Yeah.
But
that's a Junior's opinion, but
he did die of like a dementia-affected disease, so he may not have been thinking right at some point.
Agreed.
You know, apologies.
I like how we just now tested out.
I said.
I like how we just now tested out the sports show that I'm creating called Man-O-Rama. That's gonna be fun. I feel like that would be. We could leave the sports topics on the sports show that's gonna be coming out soon. I think that would be good. Because we could go on and on and on. And I can just bring up Boston sports, and then everyone would just hate me. And I'd be like, you know what? I don't care. Because guess what? We're still the best. But
Boston fans are the stupidest fans in all of sports.
Nope. Eagle fans.
I would wear my Jets jersey and just have the background be undulating flames because I'm in hell.
Now, Steve, I'll add the caveat. You're not in Boston.
No.
So fans in Boston are the stupid breed. Fans of Boston sports outside of Boston are okay.
Yes. I'm clear.
Yeah, but
I had some relatives that lived in Boston. That's how I ended up being a Boston sports fan.
But what's
And
blue,
Disney,
blue,
she
blue, and
said
always
Man-O-Rama copyright. Yeah.
Buffalo Bills, Toronto
Buffalo
Maple
Bills?
Leafs.
Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Argonauts, and Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The Buffalo Bills, those fans are the dumbest. Because there's the one who will jump. Okay, explain to me through the concept.
You know what?
Of this.
You know what Bills stands for, right, Steve?
What?
Boy, I love losing Super Bowls.
Oh,
There is a difference between Bills and Boston fans. Bills fans understand football. Boston fans understand Boston.
I'm just going
But
to say
here's the thing. But hold up. Here's my question. If you're a Bills fan, and anyone can answer this question, what goes through your brain thinking I can stand on top of a porta potty and just do a half flip, land on my back on a table? Like
easy.
Where the concept that, you know, this is gonna work out fine. You're gonna be the best at this,
Have you ever
And
been to Buffalo?
yeah,
Easy, it's
I have.
This is like prime
There's
material
Rancor.
entertainment.
But I get it. But it's stupid. Like any
it's
person
Buffalo.
outside of. Oh, okay, so they are stupid. So you,
No, but they know sports. They know the games
No,
they cheer for.
Jet fans are stupid. We've been gone without a trophy for far longer. Just because we won one in Super Bowl III, I don't know if the Bills existed when that happened. So, I mean, the
Fair.
Buffalo Bills are the only team to have ever gone to 4 straight Super Bowls. Let's see someone do that. Maybe the Patriots didn't do it, did they?
No, they
Didn't
didn't.
go to 4 straight. So the
And
thing
lost
is,
every one of them.
but the thing
Okay,
is, they went to imagine the locker room at halftime in the fourth that fourth Super Bowl
fucking
too.
suck.
Like, what's going on, guys? The thing is, they almost won about 2 of them. The Giants one came down to a kick. That first one they lost, they had that game won, and a guy made a kick. And you know what? My hat's off to my neighbors in the north in Buffalo. I have to live in New York, and they might send someone down here to kill me. So I'm just going to say,
So
also fair point.
O.J. Simpson, great player.
You know, they gave one of my really good friends back when I was doing shows for Seahawks and stuff and doing all that promotion stuff. I got to meet Mama Sunshine Lynch, Marshawn Lynch's mom. And what a wonderful woman she was. So you can go check out my Seahawks video. She's in it. You can spot her right behind the bike in the night scenes. But she came out for my music video, showed a lot of love, got to hang out with her on multiple occasions. She helped me get on the field when we won the NFC Championship. And thank you, Buffalo, for giving us Marshawn Lynch, probably what I consider one of the greatest running backs of all time, for sure. So thank you, Buffalo. Thank you. There, feel better? I'm not that mean.
Guatemalan Rooster came up with the best answer about the Bills fans. Alcohol. The answer is alcohol, Rancor. That's the only way you can get through that. That's the best answer. Because you don't need brains for that.
Alcohol and hot wings.
The solution
Specifically
to
hard
the problem
liquor,
of
yeah.
all lives problems.
You, not just beer. You're talking hard liquor because that's it's brutally cold.
Bottom shelf vodka.
I don't know how many people have been really far north. I mean, I don't know where everyone is. Don't dox yourself and stuff. But I've been, far enough north that, like, when you draw in your breath, all the mucus in your nose freezes and your nose is stuck together, and you have to stand there jumping up and down, breathing through your mouth with your hands cupped over your face just to thaw it out. I mean, and that's Buffalo. That's Buffalo from Thanksgiving until Memorial Day.
That's not bad.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
I don't know how people do it.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to see if I can screen share this right quick. Andy just posted a link. How do I do this? He posted a link on Twitter. An article is hilarious. Let me try to see if I can get it up here.
That's what she said.
Where is it? I know, right? All right. So this one. Female weightlifter suffers severe.
That's no. You create
her testicles, you bigot.
Is this like that Jonathan Frakes show? It's a fake. We made it up. Not this time. A writer came up with this one. We fooled you.
Fact or fiction?
Really?
Oh my God.
Where's Jonathan Frakes?
Is it really real or what?
We're being pranked, right? Punked, whatever it was.
Maybe he's trying out for the musical special, The Nutcracker. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Mr. Rancor, Steve, I didn't have a chance to ask you. Are you physically or mentally okay after hanging out on the Tuck and Roll show last Saturday night?
I'm glad you asked that. I think I had fun. It was.
You don't have to lie. It's okay.
I will say this: your show is insane.
Chaotic.
I thought, because I watched some of your shows on Rewind, and I was like, these would be pretty cool to hang out with, dude. I had no at the beginning, cool, until the other guy shows up, holy shit. I was way out of my comfort zone. I was like, I got nothing. These guys,
really?
it was a whole nother ballpark, and I knew it was coming. I was like, I'm gonna be kicked out. I know it's gonna happen. Because I had nothing. I was like, I'm not prepared for this. This is a whole nother level. And out of respect, I get it. It was fun. I loved it.
I think you did well.
Was,
I think you did well for your first time. You know,
I'm
we all
glad
did.
I did.
Everyone's a virgin
It
once
was
coming on the Tuck and Roll show.
It's got to
You
happen
guys can
somehow.
come on too. You know, the rest of this panel here. Don't be scared. You know,
Sure.
we're all
I'm
men
good.
here. Yeah. So
It's okay. If you get
Bring it
tuck and
on.
roll, it's okay.
you can touch
Atlas,
the Tuck
you
and
might
Roll.
wear.
It's okay.
If Atlas joins,
Show
he
me
should
where
wear
in
the
the puppet.
dress.
Show me where in the puppet the tuck and roll hurt you.
Right.
Everywhere.
Especially in the puppet hole.
My feelings.
You did great, Steve. It was good to have you,
That
brother.
was fun.
And you
I've
had
been on a
perfect
few
timing because I didn't have anybody to bring on yet, so you came in as my co-host at the beginning, so that was awesome. So you had a moment to
Nice.
breathe before it got crazy. Yeah.
Dude, it was, what was it? It was the puppet in the car. That's the one that got me.
Oh, Gator.
And
Yeah.
holy crap, he took it to a whole. I was like, geez, this is insane.
Yeah, he's a wild one. We got
It
to
was
tame him back sometimes. Yeah.
It was
So
fun.
you were
I
the
like
guinea
it.
pig.
I might show up again.
That was only half the puppets too. I mean, imagine the Cotton Council show when we got like 6 puppets and just one fleshy, as we call them, and the whole chant is literally, or the whole chat is chanting, "Kill the fleshly," "Kill the fleshy, kill the fleshy," and then you got all these puppets surrounding this poor human being. It's horrible. I feel sorry for you guys.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's fun. Jeff wanted me to bring this back up because he had
Yes.
a.
I have a nice tie-in for the last couple of minutes of conversation, I think. Looking at this with the weightlifter suffering severe testicular rupture, I haven't seen a ball that far left since Norwood kicked for the Bills.
Looks like he's about to pop.
At
in so many places.
At this resolution level, it looks like it looks like what's his name from Seinfeld? It looks like
Oh my God,
Jason,
yes.
Looks like George.
Yeah, it looks like George Costanza.
Yeah,
because the res is kind of low and the way the hair is bound back. This person kind of like not only did have a testicular rupture, but I would recommend Rogaine.
I haven't seen that much of a 5-head since that Twitter person, Angela Biacoma, or whatever her name is.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to get into the chats a little bit. I'm going to take out this image here. And we're going to get into the last few minutes. We'll get into the chats. Sorry I didn't have anything planned out throughout the show. It's been a very hectic day. And I wanted to be kind of leave it in the conversation. I promise it'll get better as the days go on. So, but these conversations have been really fun. I think the sports talk has brought confidence that we can do a sports show, because who doesn't like talking about sports? But maybe the sports show will just not talk about sports and we'll talk about like fashion.
Oh, that'd be fabulous.
Oh my God, did you see their new uniforms? That tight end was really tight.
God.
Atlas will wear a dress every time. But yeah, let's get into some of the chats and engage the audience. Let's see. Rancor Steve, I have from Revenge of the Nether Realm. At Rancor Steve, I have Christine, the Plymouth Fury. Did I ever tell you? No, you haven't. Ooh.
Does it have a push button transmission?
Ooh, it better.
Yeah.
I have a Plymouth Fury. Has a tail, ears. Meow meow.
I had the Dodge Demon in college, but it was a convertible. It was a little bit. It was like it was a variation. It was the Dodge version of that car.
Ooh, really?
Let's see. Let's go down the chats. Whatever the goat will pop up.
Yeah, only for the first couple of years. Then they remake the Dart into the one that's much more familiar to you.
Yeah. SP4H, who is an amazing wrench for this show. He said female lifter suffers I can't even say that word. Testicular what?
Yeah.
The joys
Testicular.
of-
I gotta remember that one.
Yeah.
So I will next week. I'll pull up a
Me
video
too.
for next week, and there's a funny video where I got my 15 minutes of fame of a failure, and I will post that video. I'll have it played next week, and it's a pretty funny video of me doing something stupid that I told my wife, "Hey, I can do this," and it involves ball hitting. That's all I can say. It's funny. It is funny. And Revenge of the Nether Realm says, I mean a model car. Dudes, I wish I had the actual car. Well, thanks for clarifying, because
still a
that's
car.
cool. It is.
Yep,
Have you ever
those
noticed,
cars were amazing?
Have you ever noticed when SP4H says, test tick your lurf?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will say this.
Thank you, SP4H.
The Dodge Demon had an all metal dashboard with the dashboard inverted in towards you. It was definitely like they just hosed you off and sold it to the next person.
Yeah.
I had to retrofit seatbelts into it. It was a 62.
Ooh. When the other day when we were Gary and I don't like bicyclists. We don't. Even technically they're motorized vehicles.
Who does?
If you think about it, it's a vehicle. A lot of people don't understand this. And we saw a guy on a little scooter, little moped, or whatever you call it, stupid things. And
yeah,
my whole thinking was, man, if he gets hit, like, how do you explain this? Like, he's going less than 20 miles an hour on the street. And I'm like, dude, these are the dumbest things in the world. Like, they're not practical. And it just, that popped in my head with vehicles and, yeah, motorized things. It's next to the Prius, stupidest things ever. Sorry, a tampon.
Oh, yeah.
There's that reference of a movie.
I don't know. Or
and then Phantom Boomer said bicyclists get in the way of my motorcycle. Yeah, because they think
okay, I gotta jump in. I have to jump in.
Okay.
So I hate the cyclist thing. I mean, I really despise it. There is nothing quite like being in a 50 to 80,000 pound vehicle going about 65 miles an hour. And then you have a freaking guy in this little stupid spandex crap in your way in the middle of the damn road when he's got the whole shoulder of the road just for bikes, and your brakes are already starting to overheat. So you're like, what the hell are you doing? You don't belong here. You can't go as fast as big, giant, heavy vehicles that will kill you if they run you over. I'm talking like inches beneath some of these vehicles, especially when the suspension is out and they practically drag on the ground. Like, you would be shredded cheese? No, more like, like pasta ragu or something, the red sauce. Cyclists, stay off the damn road.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago there was that guy Mike, and they posted that picture of her husband going around there with the little white bicycle helmet on. He was pedaling that.
Oh, I got nothing
Big Mike,
else.
Those
guys.
bastards.
It's Big Mike. Big broad-shouldered bike.
What great arms.
Oh, yeah. He's pretty good at paddling, too,
Well, you have to when you live on Martha's Vineyard.
Yep.
Oh, man. You guys see the picture where it's Big Mike and Little Mike in a kayak or whatever. The biggest, broadest shoulders you possibly could see. I was like, God damn. Going for the Olympics.
Hopefully, there's no testicular
But-
rupture.
That's right.
I know I'm going to be scouring Google for the video of that injury.
Oh, I have it on.
Oh,
I'll send
God.
it to you guys. Don't worry. I'll send it to you guys. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
But
I want to see that moment.
but we're gonna go around the table and we're gonna have everyone plug their channel, plug anything that they want to, and yeah, Jeff, anything you want to plug?
Yes, Saturday night on klrnradio.com, I am doing my bi-weekly podcast called Asgard North, where I talk old school D&D, and a few of my son's friends and I are actually going to start a new adventure. So we're going to be talking about introducing teenagers, mostly boys, into the world of D&D and the adventure that lies within. And it's going to be from a largely politically incorrect terrain, so it is going to be amazing. So stop by, give a listen. Greatest thing about KLRN Radio is we are our own network. Language, we don't have Mama Susan or whoever's taking her place bug us. We can say what we do and what we want, and it's awesome that way.
Nice.
Well, Mommy Susan's
Miss-
gone now.
True. I don't know who the replacement will be.
Susan 2.0.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Miss Piggy, anything you want to plug in? Plug.
Plug. What plug?
I just want to thank you,
God.
manly men, for having my pork chops on the show. And
Bacon.
don't touch me there. But I'd like to have all you come over to Snowdub's channel for the Tuck and Roll show this Saturday, and maybe go check out some videos. Hiya!
Maybe Miss Piggy and Moo Linda will do a duet.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Or maybe
Ooh.
Kermit will just bend me over the fence again and do his flipper tricks.
You do that way too well, man. Way too. Oh, sorry, way too well, Miss. Andy, anything you want to
It's
plug?
ma'am!
Oh man. We stand corrected. Oh jeez. I should not be surprised at this joke. And yet I was.
Oh, shit.
It's all about timing, gentlemen. It's all about timing.
Oh man. And what time on Saturday night, Snowdub?
What is that? 7 p.m. West Coast, 10 p.m. East Coast.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's if you guys haven't checked his channel out, definitely check it out. It's fun. It's rambunctious. It's I get a laugh every time. Yeah. Andy, anything you want to plug?
I've got the Laboratory of Mayhem, and I've been trying to upload a video all week. Maybe tomorrow I'll succeed.
You can do it, Andy. We believe in you.
Yes.
Yes.
And Teague, anything you want to plug?
Oh, well, first of all, can I just say thank you for letting me be here? And I enjoy so many of your contributions to the Doomcock show. It's an honor to be among so many great creators and people that I respect. And I want to thank you all for having me, first of all. And yeah, I've got a couple of war movie review uploads focusing on what's free with YouTube Premium. It's not really free if you have Premium, but you know, you pay for it, but these are the movies at your disposal. I tried to review a couple of them, one good, one bad. You can guess which. And tomorrow at some point, I'm going to have to watch Picard, and that'll be on in the afternoon, probably live. So
Nice,
sub my
nice.
channel, your buddy, Admiral Teague.
And Atlas, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, well, This is the point where I plug myself, I guess. And sometimes I do so bad, but it's so good. 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 Mountain Time. You can catch me every Tuesday on my channel, the Comic Relief Crusader, for Titillating Tuesdays, where we talk about everything and anything on my scabby little brain. So I mean, this past Tuesday we just had a riot, man, with Lost Wanderer and God, just a bunch of others, just talking stuff. It went from Ant-Man to the Mandalorian to Cocaine Bear, so it was hilarious at the end. And just watch the videos, subscribe, like, spread around. Where we just mention anything and everything that happens to be happening in movies and TV and comics and everything else.
Nice. I just want to throw out that the goat farmer makes decals, and he makes a Rancor Steve decal, and I like to support his business in making decals. And if anybody
Goat
ever
father.
wants to, what?
You said goat farmer. He's goat father.
Goat farmer. If you ever want to see the goat farmer, come on down to the ranch and you'll see him. I'll ram you.
Hey, he could have said goat fucker, so
a goat lover.
Shazam.
So if you ever want goat father, sorry. Thank you for correcting me. My boss gets shorter and shorter by the day. If you want to, you can find him on Twitter and pretty much the Goat Father. I think he's the only one with the Goat Father. And talk to him about decals. I want to support him in his business and in doing decals. So he's pretty good. He makes a lot of cool stuff. On that note, you can check us out every Thursday. I just blanked out for a second. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time till about 8 or so. We're in the talks of possibly doing a St. Patrick's Day episode next week. So possibly might do that because the 16th we won't be doing an episode because I have to go travel somewhere for that day, and it'll be right around that start. So that'll be the episode we won't do. So we might do a St. Patrick's Day special next week or the week after. I'm hoping for next week. We shall see. It's you never who gets the chance to see a Egyptian, Irish, Nordic show, spice it up a bit. But thank you for everyone on the panel. Thank you.
That's right. Only here where you can get those lucky charms.
Just to add as well, Steve,
Yes.
for anybody that actually may potentially want decals, they can be fully custom. If you give me an image of what you want to do, I can do one color, I can do stacking multicolors, and I could put a transparent layer on top as well. So if you want to put it on a toolbox or a semi-truck, a work truck, something that gets really dirty, I can put that extra layer on it. Like I said, multicolor, whatever you want, it's custom. It costs depend on, things like labor, of course, is the bigger one. And then the materials and shipping. Do I do what?
Filming?
A
little.
What do you mean by filming in this case?
The protective over on the decal.
It's just an additional, it's a transparent vinyl layer, which is also kind of gloss. So technically, yes, it's permanent adhesive. So yeah.
Sorry, I used to do book covers like Harry Potter and stuff. So.
Oh no, they're just the covers for the decal, so it's just like an extra transparent layer that can take the damage.
Okay.
So
perfect.
yeah, it's all custom. You can figure it out. I haven't used any of the stuff yet. PayPal, I'm looking on trying that Venmo thing everybody keeps mentioning. I want to say it was a blast having T-Gun. At first, when the show began, you kind of went a certain direction, like, my phone's going to start going off pretty soon because, the things you were talking about. I was like, okay there, buddy, maybe the fans are listening and maybe we ought to mosey along. But thank you for coming on, Admiral Tig.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's
Oh, it's not that bad.
been more fun than you can imagine. I love the show. You guys, like I said, it's an honor to be among you. It really is, and I hope to be. But maybe this is 1/3 of the way towards me getting my call sign. I hope.
You never know, man. You got to keep being around. That's for sure. You want to
Openly
get a call sign? Just keep showing up.
I'm openly campaigning.
Oh, man. Okay.
We'll see.
Now this is a challenge for Gary right here. He's challenging Gary not only for it, but to give him something that he might potentially absolutely dread getting.
We'll think about that. But on that note, thank you everyone who on the panel, and thanks everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. I noticed a few new people in. It's always good to see everyone in the chat. You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you guys here next week. All right, take care.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all come back now. You hear?